to my channel. My name's Angela and this is Devon Thread Tales. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be sharing a video all about the challenge that's taking place over on Instagram, Sew Frugal 23. So this is a challenge that's been organised by Sam from Frugalissima and Ruan, the Yorkshire Sew Gal. So this challenge has been running for a few years, but originally it was called Frugal Frocks, where you had to make a dress that was from a free pattern or something that you created yourself. And it was also from a piece of free fabric, so fabric that had originally been in your stash for quite some time, or maybe it was from an old duvet cover or pair of curtains, maybe it was even from an old garment that you decided to recreate into a new garment. That challenge has now progressed into Sew Frugal, which is now where you can make any kind of garment, but it does need to be a garment. So it can be a t-shirt, a shirt, a dress, a skirt, a pair of trousers, pair of shorts, you name it, any garment that you can think of. And again, it needs to be something that is made from a piece of fabric that's been in your stash for some time, or a piece of fabric that is free to use, so like an old duvet, etc, etc. Anyone can take part in this challenge. You just need to make sure you follow those rules, that it's a free pattern that anybody can get their hands on, and that it's also with a piece of fabric that's in your stash. I think I've said that now several times. You need to make it through the month of March 2023, and then to be considered for a prize, you need to make sure that you upload a picture of your garment and include the hashtag SewFrugal23 on the 31st of March over on Instagram. So to help this challenge along, lots of YouTubers that are in the sewing community have put together a video sharing their ideas and things that they have decided to either make or try to make, or even just that they've discovered and might make in the future. And yesterday it was Adam from Adam Sews and Katie from Wandering Bobbin. So if you have a chance, please do go over to their channels and look at the videos that they shared. Adam has some great ideas for men's patterns, which is great. I'll make sure that I put the details of all the other YouTubers in the description below. Today it's myself and also Alison from Sew Like Dotty. So again, please do hop over to her channel later, after you've watched this one obviously, and watch her video. And tomorrow it's going to be Amelia from Sew Amelia and Theresa from Lost My Thread. So I'm going to share with you the different garments that I have been looking at. I have said in one of my previous videos that I really want to make lots and lots of dresses, but really strangely, whilst I've been looking at different patterns for this challenge, I've been really drawn to skirts for some reason. So I'm going to go through all of the skirts that I've discovered and the ones that I think that I might make. The first two patterns that I'd like to talk about are actually from the same place. I have really been a massive fan of this lady for quite some time. You know, when you just see somebody and you just think they're really cool, they're just really cool. And I know I don't think I'd be able to pull off any of the things that she wears, but oh my gosh, I am in such adoration of the things that she makes and the things that she wears and the way that she presents them on Instagram. So if you haven't discovered this lady, which I'm sure you will have, her name's Alice Irvine and she is Polka Dot Palace on Instagram. And again, I'll make sure that I link her details below. She also has a blog, and on her blog she has created two patterns and they are completely self-drafted, and she gives you all the details on how to draft them yourself. So this pattern, or these two patterns, actually don't have any size range at all. The size range is endless because you take your own measurements and make the garments based on those. So the first one, which is the one that I've had in mind for a long time, even before this challenge of Sew Frugal 23 came along, is the FFS, and that is the flat fronted skirt or flat front skirt. So this is a very simple design but very cleverly put together by Alice. It's a front waistband which is totally flat, and then a gathered waistband at the back which is gathered by elastic, and just a rectangle of fabric to create the effect on the skirt. And I just absolutely love it. She's made it in this amazing black and white checked fabric, and I absolutely loved it when I first saw it, and I scoured the internet to try and purchase some more of this fabric, and I could not find it anywhere because I wanted something that had as large a check as what she had in hers. And in the end, I was only able to buy it in navy blue and white, but I was prepared to make that compromise, so it was absolutely fine. But I bought that checkered fabric, and I obviously have earmarked that free pattern for quite some time and just have never got around to making it. So with this challenge in mind, I think I might be a little bit pushed towards actually getting it done. So that was the FFS by Alice, and then the next one that she designed was a button-up skirt. So very, very similar in design. It has a flat waistband at the front and a gathered waistband at the back, which is with elastic, but it has the button through design all the way through, and her blog takes you through each of those steps on how to make it. I really like the idea of this. She's made hers in the most fantastic African wax fabric. It's in like a very bright jadey green, and I'll try and make sure I put images up on the screen of what she's made, and I just love this. I think it's brilliant, and she's actually named it the bus. So you've got the FFS and you've got the bus. And again, I've got so many different fabrics in my armour, if you like. I've got viscose fabrics, which I think would work really well with this. I don't have any African wax fabric that I would want to make this skirt out of, but I definitely think I would like to make it out of a viscose. So I'm going to go through my stash and see what I have, because I've got loads that I keep buying because I love and then don't actually make into anything. So very similarly to Alice's skirt, if you aren't confident with drawing up your own pattern pieces, there is actually a pattern that you can download for free from Sew Over It, and it is the newly released Ruby skirt. And this is a button-up skirt, just like the skirt that Alice has created. But unlike Alice's skirt, where the sizing is completely unlimited, you know, you can make whatever size you want and make it fit you perfectly, this actually comes with sizes. So it goes from a size 6 to a size 30. Now I'm going to look down because I need to look at the measurements that are on here. So the size 6 starts at a 24-inch waist, and the size 30 is a 50-inch waist. So the size range is really a good size range and covering lots of different sizes. But if you feel like you don't fall in that size range, for instance, you might feel like you might need to go above the size 30 or below the size 6, then obviously you've got the option of Alice's skirt. But this is a very similar skirt. It has got pockets on the front, but again, you could do that on any of the skirts that I'm mentioning here anyway, just by putting on a patch pocket. It's a really lovely skirt. Sorry, I keep looking down. I need to put that aside so I don't keep looking at it. It's a really lovely skirt, and I think it's a lovely option if you didn't want to create your own pattern pieces. So while I was still on the search for free sewing patterns, for some reason I was still drawn to skirts, and one of the skirts that I came across, and it was one that I've actually had downloaded myself quite some time ago, but I hadn't realised it was a free pattern. I must have done at the time, but I just hadn't thought about it. But it's actually a pattern by Tesutti Fabrics, and it is the Libby A-line skirt. And this is a really nice, simple design. It doesn't have an elasticated waist. It just has a simple waistband. I believe it has a zip up one side, and it's just an A-line skirt. It's got a couple of darts at the front or at the back, possibly the back, and it's just really lovely. And again, I think this would be a nice skirt to make in a viscose fabric. Again, I have hundreds of viscose fabrics that I'm going to be able to choose from, and I think this is one of the skirts that I would really like to try and make. Very, very simple. I saw Tamlin from Sew on the Time recently, and she had on a long, very simple skirt, and she just wore that with a pair of boots and a nice thick jumper. And whilst I think of these skirts as being something very summery, it was great that I could see it, you know, dressed up in a more wintry way. And I love the idea of being able to, you know, change garments like that from a summer to a winter garment. So I'm really keen on the idea of making this. I believe that the pattern only comes in a couple of lengths, but I like the idea of just extending this, and I would just literally extend the lines of this skirt down, so it came down to sort of ankle length. And I think this in a really nice floaty fabric would look absolutely gorgeous. I've seen some online where they've made them shorter and in a nice sort of stiffer fabric, and that looks really good too. My daughter's got a skirt very similar to this, and it's got a slit up one side, so I might have a little play around with it and see whether it's something I can do, creating a slit in it. If it isn't on the side seam, then I'm not sure how I'll do it, but I'll have a little think and see what I can come up with. But that's another skirt option that I have there. While I was looking at the Tesutti Fabrics website and looking at the skirt, the Libby skirt, I saw that they had some other free patterns, and I completely forgotten that one of the patterns that I had looked at for last year's Sew Frugal challenge was the Mandy boat tee, and that's a jersey design top. It's a really nice top. I've heard so many people say that they've made it and it fits really nicely. It's got a lovely neckline to it. It's also got a drop sleeve. It's not figure hugging, so it's nice and easy to fit. So that's a really nice option if you wanted just a nice simple t-shirt. But similarly, they also have a woven t-shirt or top as well on Tesutti Fabrics, which is completely free too, and that is called the Athina top, and that's also a dropped sleeved top with a so a grown on sleeve, and then you add on the longer sleeve if you want it to be long sleeve. Again, very loose fitting, really lovely top, and I think that would be a really nice option for a nice simple top. Again, completely free, so that's brilliant. I believe they do have a couple of other free patterns. I'm just checking on the website here. Yes, they have the Monroe turtleneck pattern, which is again a drop sleeve, so a grown on sleeve, so nice easy fitting, no struggling with putting in a set-in sleeve, and it's just a little roll neck top. And they also have an apron pattern as well. So go and check out the Tesutti Fabrics website, because they have lots on there which are free, which is absolutely brilliant. So the only other pattern that I'm going to mention aside from the skirts is one dress pattern, and that is a pattern I mentioned recently in my plans videos for March, I think it was. And I have got my heart set on making a sheared dress this year, and although there are lots of patterns out there that you can buy, there are lots of free ones as well. You can just search on YouTube, on Instagram, Pinterest, that kind of thing. But the one that I think that I'm going to have a go at is one that's been set out by Hand London, and it's just a sheer dress, and they tell you how to measure and make rectangles and shear your bodice and create the gathered skirts and the tiers and the sleeves, etc, etc. So again, I will put a link into their Instagram, but I can't put a link into their stories, but the sheared dress pattern is on their stories, and you just need to go onto Instagram and search through and look for their sheared dress story that they've put up online. So I hope that you've enjoyed having a look at the different skirt patterns and the one dress pattern that I'm hoping to possibly make. If I was going to set myself any of those that I will definitely make by March, because we are now on the 13th of March, so I haven't got very long, I think I will stick to either the FFS by Alice Irvine, and that is the flat fronted skirt, or I will make the Libby A-line skirt, I think that's called, yes, the Libby A-line skirt by Tesutti Fabrics. Those are the two that I'm most drawn to at the moment. So keep an eye out on Instagram on the hashtag SewFrugal23, and have a little look at what everybody else is making. And if you have a chance to join in, then do so, because there are lots and lots of prizes up for grabs. And hopefully through this video I'll have been putting up a little screenshot of all the different companies that have been sponsoring this and therefore providing prizes at the end of it. Thanks so much to Sam and Ruan for organising this each year. I know it's quite an undertaking to do this, and it keeps them very, very busy throughout the month of March, but it's really great and it draws the community together, which is absolutely fantastic. So anyway, I'm going to leave you there. I hope you're all well. Have a good week, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.